How's it going, everybody? WadeCity here, and today I am going to be doing a Q&A. Yes, sir. So today I'm going to be pretty much answering your questions that you have given me, as I have asked various of my social platforms of what you wanted to ask me. So I got in some pretty good amount of questions that I'm going to answer. So without further ado, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. It is very appreciated. Love all your guys' support. So without further ado, let's get straight into the questions. Huzzah! Congratulations! I can't believe it's already March now. Well, technically, honey, it's actually April, but but what kind of things are you looking forward to for this year? Honestly, with me, what I'm looking forward to for this year is, you know, keep active at my content, you know, spend time with friends, work on my projects, especially one I've been working on for quite a while, and maybe interact with some new friends. That's honestly the thing I've been looking forward to the most, especially like loads of things, honestly. I can't really name them a lot, but I'm very excited for movies that are going to come out, especially Supergirl, Spider-Man. I already seen the Mario movie. Like, it's generally, you know, like I don't know what I would expect since the year's so unexpected. So yeah, that pretty much answers it. Also, love you, honey. I know that's you. What gave you the motivation to start and continue this career of yours as a content creator? Oh man, what started? Well, honestly, I've watched, as everybody else did, I watched like various of YouTubers, you know, made videos, you know, do their content, like ones like Markiplier. What started it was me seeing playthroughs of Five Nights at Freddy's. That was the first fandom I've ever come across on the internet, especially when I was on the computer, on my grandma's computer, just you know, scrolling through it, and I see people playing this game called Five Nights at Freddy's. And honestly, they were so funny. Like, one of them was obviously Markiplier, Decepticon, Yummy Mash, a couple of others I can remember from the top of my head. There was various of like Afmal, IS Cupcake. Like, it was generally a lot of YouTubers. And then as the years went by, when I kept watching these YouTubers, and I was like, what if I become a YouTuber? What if I made videos like they did? And I did not even know what to do until, like, you know, years later, I decided to just fully start this off. And obviously I wasn't at a good start. You know, I barely did not know what to do, honestly, as content for me. But, you know, I kind of winged it. You know what I mean? I decided just to see what I can do. And I did a couple of different kinds of content. So honestly, I think I finally found my flow. And it definitely took a couple of years. I'll admit that. So if you're trying to look for your flow of content, then it's definitely going to take a bit of years in my experience to know what you want to really do for your channel exactly. So yeah, that's honestly my answer to that. So thank you for asking that question. What got you into doing YouTube videos? I feel like I already answered this question. What got me into it? Well, people doing Five Nights at Freddy's videos. That was pretty much what got me into doing YouTube videos, is that I wanted to try doing those. Instead, I do dubs. I'm doing something entirely different than what I was intending to do. So it's something, honestly. I've never expected that I would be doing this now, but hey, I'm not complaining. I actually love it. But I do YouTube videos, you know, of like gaming, especially on the new channel I built up, which you guys should totally subscribe to, by the way. It's actually, you know, pretty lit. I'm not gonna lie, I just need to kickstart it more. You see, it's more of a second definition of what I was basically saying last question about. Okay, now my brain hurts. Do you have parents? Damn, I did not expect this question. And are you a huge Dragon Ball fan? So, do I have parents? Nah, I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I'm kind of adopted. It's a sad story. I don't want to get into it. It's kind of personal, you know. It's pretty bad. I was there one as a child. It was such a depressing moment. I know I'm just pulling your leg. Come on. Nah, I'm not adopted. I do have parents. I just don't really talk about them much, since there's really nothing really much to talk to them about. Hardly bring them up as it is, but I do have parents, and I do love them. So, and am I a huge Dragon Ball fan? Oh, most definitely. I remember watching Dragon Ball Z Kai when I was a kid. Definitely on the TV, just hearing that theme song, Dragon Soul. You know, just like going nuts with that theme song, especially watching the fight scenes, Goku going Super Saiyan for the first time. It was like Dragon Ball Z Kai is definitely what I remember. And I definitely remember my movie experience at the movie theaters watching Dragon Ball Super Broly. Now, that was a crazy anime movie experience I've seen in the theaters. Honestly, one of the most craziest experiences, especially with the animation. And I cannot wait for Dragon Ball Super to return, which I heard the news, guys. I know it's returning. I just cannot wait for it. Anyways, next question. Inspiration for Freedom Horizons? Oh, okay. Well, this is an interesting question. So when it came to Freedom Horizons, I've always loved animated movies. I always loved animated shows also. I just didn't know what to exactly do. I've been in the Sonic community. I've been seeing plenty of people doing other projects, and I've been definitely loving what I'm seeing when it came to other people's projects. And I saw a friend of mine, shout out to True, has been developing his own series based on his OC. And when I was seeing that, I was like, oh, this actually looks pretty interesting, because he tells me a lot about it. And I'm like, okay, this actually sounds really cool. This actually sounds like a really cool concept. And then when I kept hearing it, I was like, oh, you know? And then I decided to make a Sonic OC, which was a wolf. First time in a long time that I made a Sonic OC. And then I decided to put 2 and 2 together, and my brain clicked and said, why don't I make a series myself? Which then led to the creation of Freedom Horizons. I put everything together. I released, which was acclaimed episode 1, but now it became a pilot. I decided to release a pilot to see if people liked it, and generally people really liked it. It was like, I was surprised. So yeah, no, shout out to that friend who was giving me the idea and the inspiration to make a series. So shout out to him, honestly. Thank you for the question. Why are you a cloud? Bella, I know that's you. I think you already know why. But the people who don't know, why am I a cloud? I honestly don't even know myself. I don't think I can answer this question. We'll come back to that one. What is my favorite color? I'm gonna want you to just look at me, take a pretty good look at me, and I think you've already got an answer. I'll wait. Moving on. Can I borrow your shades? Oh yeah, sure. You know what? Here, take the ones I have. I got like 10 of them in the closet. What? This question's funny because of the gift. Okay, what is the easiest, hardest impression for you to do? This is a very good question, actually. So as a voice actor, I generally just look at impressions from other actors, from animated shows and movies, and like the hardest one, you know, I can go with the easiest one. So the easiest one I've done is honestly like ones with generally like, let's say the Cuphead show, where I decided to do a Cuphead voice, which was from True Valentino. And how I did it is pretty much just like, let me go ahead and get in character here. Banana oil, paint the rent, fix the roof. It's the same old stuff every day. So I went into that voice, and people get so surprised when I do it. Another one I like is generally like, you know, from Spider-Man, which is particularly like Shamik Moore's Miles Morales, which is like, nah, I'm gonna do my own thing. I'm Spider-Man. Like, you know, I go with something like that. The hardest impression, which I don't think I ever told any of my friends who like something like this, so you guys are getting it exclusive from me, so you guys are very special today, is generally one that's Vector the crocodile, or I'm trying to do a voice of like, you know, Grunkle Stan. Hey kids, have you seen my pants? I love Grunkle Stan. I love Gravity Falls, so I generally was just thinking I could do a Grunkle Stan voice. And then with Vector, it's just like, kid. Not even gonna try. You guys get the idea. Thank you for asking the question. What inspired your OC design? So what inspired the cloud one, and I think this will answer Bella's question, I would look at various personas out on the internet, and I would never see much of people with like having a cloud aspect of a character. Like, I never see that. And I'm sitting there and I'm just like, I don't see anyone being a cloud. What if I become the one and only cloud? Like, not just any cloud, like a pom-pom cloud, because the cloud design was made by my buddy Jade, who basically gave the design pretty much in the past. Like, he looked entirely different compared to right now. Then he kept evolving throughout the years, and now he looks like, you know, this handsome cloud boy with shades that are looking pretty gnarly, you know what I'm saying? I love this cloud Sona, and I love of how she makes it every time, and how she evolves it, because she's pretty much the one that just evolves it every time. And especially with this PNG tuber that's made by a very amazing artist, which you should follow, by the way, should be in the description. And it's like, wow, I'm at awe of how this cloud Sona has evolved, and I'm gonna keep evolving it until I am like 50 or something. I don't know when. It depends on when I retire. I don't know, but I am never letting go of this cloud Sona. It is amazing. Shout out to all the artists, and shout out to literally the people who just love this cloud buddy, and especially who has helped it evolve. It is amazing. Thank you for asking that question. Let me get a Fanta actually real quick. Let me take a sip. Are you a cloud? I don't know, but wait, I gotta think of a really good joke here. Hold on. Ah, I can't think of nothing. Damn. No, I am more of a cotton candy. Next, if you, Wade, could replace Wade from the Knuckles show, what would you do? I would make the show 100 times better. Okay, this is not ego talking, like generally. If they added another Wade, just think of the dynamic duo we would become. Or if I was like replacing him and pretty much being the Wade of the Sonic universe, I'm generally telling you right now, I feel like things would be a lot more different than how that show was, you know, done. I would literally just try to be buddies with Knuckles. I would literally would want to know everything. And hell, even I would try to steal that Master Emerald myself. Oh, hey, don't worry, man. I got you. I can protect this emerald for you. You know what I'm saying? And then I'd be selling it to eBay. Thank you for asking the question. What's your favorite video game? Oh my lord, this is such a hard question, only because of the fact that there are so many. Do I want to think Nintendo Division? Do I want to think Sega? The one I can think at the top of my head immediately has to be Crash Bandicoot 4. Like, even if I don't play it as much, I still love of how that game looks. I love the art style. I love the cutscenes of how goofy and funny they are. I love the villains, especially Crash and Coco and all these other characters. It's like so fun, and yet it's so goofy at the same time, especially when you die. But honestly, Crash 4 is such a fun ride, and it's such a funny thing, especially when it adds some adult jokes. But yeah, thank you for asking that question. Would you rather have unlimited bacon but no more video games, or games, unlimited games but no games? This is such a really deep question, guys. I'm really just shaking in my boots right now. I'm literally unlimited bacon. Hello, Wade. Here's my question. What is your most favorite designs from each of your top favorite Autobots and Decepticons? Oh, we going Transformers up in this. All right, you know what? Good thing I got my goggles. You know what? Let me get my goggles on. Cool shades for Transformers nerds. So honestly, I gotta say, when it comes to, you know, Transformers, my top 3 favorites has to be Optimus Prime, the one and only GOAT. Bumblebee, you know, the bad kicking yellow machine. And number 3 has to be my boy Jazz. Generally, he's funky, he's groovy, and he knows how to bust a move when it comes to busting up some Decepticons. So those are my top 3 favorite designs. I love of how they look in Transformers animated. The designs in that show were generally so really good. Decepticons, you know, we gotta go with Barricade, a live action movies. He looked pretty good. We gotta go with Starscream. I don't know about him in the live action. He looked like a huge Dorito. Third, oh, this is a big, we gotta go with Soundwave. My boy Soundwave. He generally was definitely looking peak every single time he appeared. Like, generally, he was so badass. But yeah, thank you for asking that question, especially from a Transformers buddy. What's up, Wade? I got 2 questions. How you feel about Wade Whipple from the Sonic movie universe? I know a lot of people are just looking at me when I'm about to answer this question. Wade Whipple from the Sonic movie universe. Honestly, he's a pretty funny character. When I first saw him in the first Sonic movie, I generally thought that he was always this comic relief character that's just there for the and giggles. And he is. But then he got his own show, which was with Knuckles. And they go on this trip to basically attend a bowling tournament. And we get to look a bit deep into his story, especially with his family. And it's like, you go into this little adventure with this character that's so comic relief, but then you realize there's a lot more to him than him just being funny. Like, he wants to be somebody. He wants to be more than just, you know, this goofball that you see him as. Honestly, I respect Wade Whipple. I'm not going to lie. Generally for what he does in the show and what he believes in. So honestly, I gotta give respect to Wade. I love Wade Whipple. Number 2, a daring one. Would you rather watch all of Transformers Robots in Disguise 2015 or Transformers Last Night? We're really gonna do this. You really gotta ask me the most toughest question. Well, joke's on you, sucker. I've already watched all 4 seasons of Transformers Robots in Disguise. And I'm not gonna lie, I enjoyed some of the episodes. So Last Night can go shove something up his straight ass. Greetings, Wade. If you had the power to bring back any video game that was canceled, what would you choose? Yeah, this is a tough question right here. Honestly, I would have liked to have seen technically an Iron Man game. I think that was the one that got canceled. That was gonna come out like years back, but then they canceled it. Iron Man's one of my favorite Marvel characters. So honestly, I would have loved to play Iron Man. To have just been flying through cities and blasting villains, you know, all those kind of goons, Fang Fang Foom, you know, all them. I want to see, you know, Iron Man in action in a video game besides that Avengers game that we don't discuss about. I'm not gonna lie, it was pretty bad. Anyways, thank you for asking that question. Hey Wade, here's my question. Have you collected any Transformers Studio Series or Legacy figures? If so, which one of them you owned is your favorite? If not, which ones you wish to get? I have, as much as I'm a big Transformers fan, I have never collected Transformers figures. I mean, I would love to do that, honestly. I mean, when I get a new shelf, I can like just collect all these Transformers figures and have a huge load and like a huge shelf of Transformers. Because what I see on Instagram of all these people having so many Transformers figures, merchandise and everything, and I'm like, I want that to be in my room so bad. I should have thought of that, but I already have up on my walls and everything. To answer that, I do not have figures, but I would love to get started on that. So thank you for asking that question. This may be an odd one, but for Freedom Horizons, what made you want to have Sonic be dead in the series? The Freedom Horizons pilot, it's not canon to the main Freedom Horizons timeline that we're developing, because originally the Freedom Horizons series was going to be connected to my friend's series that I was mentioning earlier, but due to how very different the shows were, I decided to split it away from the project that he was developing because I just want him to make his own thing. Sonic is not dead. He is not dead. He is alive and well, just like Optimus Prime and Transformers Prime. Thank you for asking that question. Alrighty guys, so this is the last question. Let's see what we got. What is your favorite thing you created? Damn, there's a lot that I created. But my favorite? It's for a project that I have been showing off in socials that I'm currently developing, is honestly this channel. If I didn't make this channel, I would have never been able to build the confidence in meeting all of these amazing people and basically being out there, you know, on socials and just making videos, making dubs and streaming. It's like I love every moment of it, and I'm very glad I created this channel, and I'm glad I created this Cloud Sona, because this Cloud Sona has given me a reason to be myself, because I'm a cloud. As much as I'm trying to handle my own personal life as well, it's always amazing to come here and see people like my stuff, and I read your guys' comments, and it's mind-blowing that you guys love my stuff, and I just do my best to make sure the content is just for you, and what I'm doing that I want to put out that is definitely living up to your standards. So that's my favorite thing, is that I created this channel, I created this Cloud Sona, and we're getting up to 20k subscribers. That is my favorite thing, is that we're getting up there. I'm very grateful. A great thing I can end off there, as we're basically done with the Q&A because we're out of questions now. Thank you guys for contributing to this Q&A by giving me your questions and I answer them. And without further ado, like, comment, and subscribe, and let me know if you guys got the answer that you were looking for with your question. And that'll be the end of it. So I'll be seeing you guys in the next dub, or in the next video I'll put out, or the next stream. Be sure to go check out my stream channel, and I will see you all later. Bye bye.